Many of the businesses have not been in compliance. They have noted this. They spoke to the business owners, pointing out the deficiencies. And this week we'll be writing those businesses official letters pointing out that they're not in compliance.
This pronouncement was made by the health minister on Wednesday as he provided his daily update on the local COVID-19 situation. Just 1 week ago, another public appeal was made by the minister to business owners to adhere to the COVID-19 protocols that are in place in accordance with the COVID-19 emergency measures published in the official gazette. As of September 2021, paragraph 17(1) of the COVID-19 emergency measures stipulate that any person who wishes to enter a public building, which has been defined as any building to which the public has lawful access, including both publicly and privately owned buildings, shall be vaccinated. To this end, a number of business entities operating in Georgetown were visited by the Health Emergency Operations Center over the past week, where it was found that 52 businesses were not in compliance with the specified guidelines. The minister is adamant that it is important for business owners to join the national fight against COVID-19, warning that if they continue to flout the measures, they will be penalized.
Well, there are penalties, so we want to give people a chance to make sure that they're complying rather than us imposing the penalties. But if they don't, then they'll leave us with no option but to enforce penalties.
The minister, however, did not state what those penalties will be, but noted that persons will know when that time arrives. More so, these exercises are expected to continue across the 10 administrative regions.
Apart from what is happening centrally, the police and the army have been going out to other areas, especially in the regions, doing similar things. So we hope that we'll get more and more compliance. In addition to that, you would have noticed that over the last week, a number of persons were arrested and prosecuted for violating these measures.
On another note, a partially vaccinated person who was COVID-19 positive is no longer required to wait 3 months for their second dose, but rather they can access the second dose immediately after fully recovering from COVID-19.
But that was in the context of not having enough vaccines for everyone. That situation has changed drastically in the world, and in particular in Guyana. We don't have an issue of vaccine shortage. So trying to prevent people from accessing vaccine because they've been infected, that's not our policy.
Meanwhile, it was also conveyed that the subject of a booster shot for local use is still under consideration. The belief was shared that while it has been proven that the effectiveness of the COVID-19 vaccines wanes after 6 months, it does not mean that persons are not protected. This is so because the body would still have memory cells to help trigger a response if a vaccinated person becomes infected. Guyana began its vaccination drive in February of this year, which means that the 6 months vaccine efficacy being touted in some quarters may be up for the cohort of Guyanese who accessed the jabs in the initial months. In developed countries such as the United States, booster shots of the mRNA Pfizer vaccine are being administered to the elderly population and those who are deemed to be high risk. Despite this, the World Health Organization is maintaining that the administration of a booster shot is not necessary at this time across the board. For the HGP Nightly News, Kendell Richmond.